Hi, I'm Sharon Burns, owner and operator at RX Catering in the DC metro area. And we're here cooking with Sharon today. We have another awesome, easy recipe for the vegetarian out there. Now, we could make this a vegan option, but I've opted today just to make it vegetarian. It's going to be a broccoli cake. So, a lot of times we do salmon cakes, we do all types of different patties. This time we're going to take something very healthy and nutritious, broccoli, full of vitamin K, full of vitamin C, potassium, and we're going to take just a regular quinoa that I've already pre-made right here. And this, again, is another option in lieu of rice, a bunch of carbs that you can actually incorporate into your diet. So this is full of fiber, full of protein, and we're going to have a good time today making sure that we have that next vegetarian option. So let's get started. I've, like I said, already made my quinoa, and quinoa comes in all types of, a couple different flavors or types that I typically use here. This is the white quinoa. There's a red quinoa that you can also use. You could actually mix the two if you wanted some flavor, some flair, some diversity. We're going to take this and put it into our food processor. And like I said before, whenever we use a food processor, if you don't have something like this at home, you can use a Vitamixer, you can use a bullet. There are different options for you to use. And then I took about four cups of broccoli, and it's not raw. I actually blanched it, and so it's cooked, but it's not overcooked. You don't want your broccoli to be mushy, because once we make it into our patty or a burger, we don't want like a mush burger. So we're going to add this to our food processor. And also, when you take it out of your pot, once you have blanched or boiled it somewhat, you want to make sure that the water has been removed. Because again, you don't want it to be watered down and a soggy type burger. All right, so we're going to take that and we're just going to start to mix in our food processor. And I have here, let's see, 6 other ingredients. I have spring onions that we're going to use that have been diced. The great thing about this type of burger or patty, you can kind of make it your own. Here at RX Catering, we cook with love. So a lot of times we're taking different flavors and different spices, different herbs, and mixing it in. So today I went ahead and I'm going to use cilantro, fresh cilantro that I've already diced up or minced up. I also have selected to use basil because I love basil. And then, of course, what? We got to use garlic. So here's some, I think I used probably like 5 cloves of garlic, and I minced it. And then we have almond flour here. And then just a regular egg to bind it. And then, we got to add cheese. So I selected to do a cheddar cheese, but you can use Parmesan cheese, you can use a blue cheese, whatever really your preference is. So we're going to mix this up. Okay, we'll stop. Just make sure that it's all getting mixed up. I see some of my broccoli pieces haven't quite blended together yet, but that's okay. We're going to add in our other ingredients. And again, a lot of times when I show you different recipes and options, it's geared for that busy person that just needs something quick that they can maybe meal prep ahead of time, that they can put together, and economical, easy, and taste good. So this is just another option. Again, if you don't want to do it at home, no problem. We got you covered here at RX Catering. You can always reach out to us and we will make it for you. All right, so we're going to put in our spring onions. This is about maybe like 2 of the spring onions. And like I said, I'm going to add in fresh basil. It smells so good. And you can use, if you have at home, dill. You can use fresh dill. You can use parsley as well if you want to add that. But like I said, I'm a huge fan of cilantro, and I love fresh basil. So we're adding in both of those today. And then you can't go wrong with garlic, right? So we're going to add that in. And then we're going to add this in last. But one thing that I did forget, you got to have a little bit of flavor, just a little bit of salt. So I don't know how I forgot that, but good thing it's right here. We have our salt. We're just going to add in, I don't know. You know, we cook with love here, so I'm just eyeballing it, and I'm going to taste it before I actually finish it off. So about a teaspoon, and then the same with our black pepper. We'll add that in, just a little, about a teaspoon. Okay, so we have everything all in our food processor. We will mix this up, and then our last two ingredients, we'll add the cheese, and we'll add our almond flour. All right, this is looking oh so good, and it's smelling good too. I mean, this is one way to actually disguise, you know, all the healthy vegetables that some kids don't like to eat all the time, or even some adults. I know some adults that don't eat any vegetables. I don't even know how they're surviving. But this is one way to disguise it and make it good. And then we're going to add our final ingredient in. Mix this all together. You can smell, oh my gosh, one other ingredient, just one egg, and that's to bind. One egg to bind everything together we will add. And then we'll mix and we'll be ready to go. Okay, didn't I tell you this was going to be easy? Oh yeah. So we are ready to make our patties. So like I said, we have fresh broccoli, we have quinoa, and we have all those nice herbs and flavors that we are mixing together. And now we're going to turn on just regular skillet, and I have olive oil right here that we're just going to put into our skillet. Get it hot. While we are getting our skillet hot, we're going to make our patties, our cakes, our broccoli cakes. So be careful when taking it out of, you don't want to, on the blade that's in there, you don't want to actually cut yourself. All right, so just like a salmon croquette, I make those sometimes, but see, it's just a regular old patty, and it's our cake, and we're going to eat this. You can make a sandwich out of it. You can put it on a salad, bed of salad, because why? The quinoa that's in here, there's your protein. So you have a full meal right here. And like I said, we could make this a vegan option by switching out a couple of the ingredients, but this is going to be great for our vegetarian today. Okay, so just keep our burger right here while we are, or our cake right here while we are waiting for our skillet. And I'm just going to make a few, and then I'll finish it off later. Again, this is something that you can make and freeze. So I give you a lot of different options for meal prepping, because why? We are busy people. We are all busy, and we don't want to ask ourselves that question. What am I going to eat tonight? Well, if you meal prep at the beginning of the week or at the end of the week, all at one time, this is something that can be made and frozen, put in the freezer. Then what do? You pull it out, bam. And you can thaw it out before you go to work. And when you come home, your meal is there, ready to go. All you're doing is adding in your sides. Okay, so I think our skillet is ready to go. You want it a little hot, not too hot. We're going to take our salmon, oh my gosh, I'm calling it salmon. It's almost that good. We're going to take our broccoli cake, and we're just going to add it. And I'm using a smaller skillet here today, but usually you would have a bigger skillet. We could put probably like 4 or 5 of them in at one time. And we're just going to let it brown on the bottom. So this should take like maybe 5 minutes. or so. And just be careful with your oil that you have here. You don't want a whole lot, and I think maybe I put a little bit too much, so we'll just drain some of that off. It's all good. And put it back on our burner. And you want to use probably like a metal spatula to flip it. So we're going to take this and just flip it over. You see it's browning already. And it should stay together like it is right now. So we're going to let that just cook for, like I said, about 5 minutes or so. We want it brown on both sides. Now, if you find that your broccoli cakes aren't staying together, then you could just add in a little bit more of the almond flour. So, easy fix. I think we're pretty good here today with our binding and everything staying together. So, we want to make sure we'll just check it periodically and flip it. Our temperature, it seems like it's a little low, so I'm going to add in just a little bit more of our oil and let it brown up. And again, you can make these whatever size that you want. I made it the size of like a burger because that's one of the options, is adding it onto a bun and making a sandwich out of it. But you have to gauge this. And again, we're giving you some options that are quick, easy, and healthy. So look, this is browning up very nicely right now. And we're going to make sure that it's brown on the other side before we finish. And like I said, just be careful with it popping. We're almost done. Look, we have something, again, quick, easy, economical, and good. I think it's a win-win. And it's something that you can do at home. But like I said, we can always make it for you. So, our broccoli cake broke. Oh my gosh. It's okay, because we're going to, the reason why it broke is I flipped it too soon. But you know what? We're going to make it just a little bit bigger and have it cook down just into a nice patty. Round out my cake, my broccoli cake. But again, you want it to be just like kind of like a salmon cake, or just like a regular veggie burger that you may see or you may prepare. And I'm just going to let it get a little more brown and just monitor it. As you see here, we have, I have my salad all ready to go. And we're going to take the sriracha, kind of like mayo dressing. I made it before. A sriracha mayo kind of dressing. And we're going to finish this off with a little bit of sauce. All right, so we are good to go. You see, this is so easy. It's done. We're going to add it right here. And then we will drizzle it with a little bit of the dressing. Like I said, this is this dressing actually is vegan. So, but again, we started off as a vegetarian option. You can always add in your vegan dressings or any type of sauce. And we're just going to finish it off just like that. All right, so like I said, if you need us to make something like this, No problem. Please check us out at rxcateringdc.co. As always, we appreciate you joining us today. Thanks.